Quinoa's rise from Andean staple to global health food phenomenon has outpaced the research in some respects, but the underlying nutritional case for this seed, technically a pseudo-cereal rather than a true grain, is more solid than the trendy positioning might suggest. What makes quinoa genuinely interesting is the combination of attributes it holds simultaneously: complete protein, significant fiber, substantial mineral content, and a naturally gluten-free composition that serves populations who have limited choices among whole grain alternatives. A cup of cooked quinoa provides 8 grams of protein, meaningfully higher than white rice, 4 grams, or pasta, 7 grams cooked, and contains all 9 essential amino acids in a profile that the Food and Agriculture Organization classifies as complete, with no limiting amino acid of the kind that restricts most plant proteins. 5 grams of fiber per cooked cup supports digestive health and blood sugar regulation. The mineral profile includes 30% of the daily value for manganese, 19% for phosphorus, 15% for magnesium, and 13% for folate. A B vitamin critical for DNA synthesis and particularly important during pregnancy. The glycemic index of quinoa, approximately 53, is considerably lower than white rice, 72, or white bread, 75, making it a meaningful improvement for blood sugar management in practical meal planning. The fiber content and protein combination appear to synergistically flatten postprandial glucose curves compared to refined grain alternatives, and this effect has been demonstrated in controlled meal studies. For the celiac and gluten-intolerant population, quinoa represents one of the few whole grain-adjacent options that is inherently gluten-free, and unlike many processed gluten-free products that replace wheat with refined rice flour or cornstarch, quinoa retains substantive nutritional value. This is not a minor distinction for people whose dietary options are significantly constrained. The saponin issue requires addressing because it affects the eating experience and is fixable with a simple preparation step. Quinoa naturally coats itself with saponins, bitter-tasting compounds that serve as a pest deterrent on the plant. Most commercially sold quinoa is pre-rinsed, but inadequate rinsing is the most common reason people describe quinoa as having a soapy or bitter taste. Rinsing under cold water in a fine mesh strainer for 60 seconds before cooking eliminates this problem entirely. The calorie density is slightly higher than people expect for a diet food, about 222 calories per cooked cup, which is comparable to rice rather than the negligible calorie experience of vegetables. This is not a criticism, but it is worth contextualizing for people who add quinoa to meals expecting it to be more like a vegetable substitution than a grain substitution. Eating quinoa as a base instead of white rice or refined pasta is a genuine nutritional upgrade. Eating it as a supplement on top of an already calorie-adequate meal is caloric addition, whatever the nutrient profile.